Okay, now we're gonna have a go. Let's rock and roll, people. Let's rock and roll. Okay, we here, we're doing some HTML. I'm gonna go through everything, piece by piece. In this first section, we're going to walk through the simple and basics. We're gonna do opening a page in a text editor, editing the page, ensuring that you save it in HTML, and a couple more things. Okay, HTML is a hypertext markup language. We use this to create web pages. Now these web pages are the ones that we're able to actually see and interact with from a web browser. For this entire thing of ours, you will need a PC. It needs to be running at least Windows 7 at least. I'm having Windows 10 here. Now you will need a web browser and a text editor. For the text editors, you need to have either Notepad++ or you can have Guinea. I'm using both of them, but for these examples, as I show you through, I'll be using Notepad++, just so you can have a glance on how this one will go. Okay, then for a web browser, you can have Chrome or Microsoft Edge or even Internet Explorer. Either of those will work. Now in my case, I'm going to be using Google Chrome. Okay, now here I've got two web pages. Now when you want to edit a web page and you have Notepad++ installed correctly, you can go to this. In this case, for my example, I'll be opening this one. Then you're gonna right click it, and then you're going to see this written edit with Notepad++. You're gonna go ahead and click that. Then boom, you have something there. Now this is the file. You'll be able to edit it and all of this. Now when you're working in Notepad++, there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Number one, always make sure that the language is set to the language you're working with. In this instance, we're working with HTML, so now the language has to be set to HTML as shown here. It is set to HTML. Now then, this actually leads to it being highlighted like this. If this is not set to HTML, like that, if it's not set to HTML, let me set this to a normal text. This is what you have, and honestly speaking, no one would like to work with something like this. We would want to work with something that is more interactive, colorful, and actually shows you the beginning and the ending. Now when you're setting the language that you're working with, you're gonna go ahead and click the language tab. Then you're gonna hover the mouse on H and then HTML. There you go. Now you have this. Then you can be able to work within your document nice and easy. What you have here right there on that title bar there is the document name, which is the document that you're working with. In this case, the name of my document is index_rsc.htm. okay, now if you look at this on this side, that's pretty much the name of the web page that I'm working in. Okay, now this, don't worry too much about what we have in here. We'll be looking into these things in the next video. Now when you're done and you're saving this, always make sure that it is the save as type here is set to hypertext markup language file, or else it will not be a web page. It has to be this. If you set it to this, then it will automatically set the file extension as HTML, and in this way it will actually open in a web browser, or else this will not open at all. Okay, all right, now we have this. When you have your web page saved up, you're done programming it and all of that, and you want to see how it looks, you're just gonna double click it. Automatically it should open with the web page, with the web browser, I'm sorry. Then we have something like this. All right, when you have a web page open and you'd actually like to edit it in real time, you can use what we call the inspector element, which means you're going to right click there, then you're going to go to inspect. Now inspector element is a really cool thing, if you ask me. When we're working in this, when you hover over this, it will actually show you the elements that you're working in. Now we're going to look at these more in detail in the next video. Just always remember that if you want to check on your work in real time, you can use inspector element. It's way easier to analyze, it's way easier to go through with. Okay, now in the next one we'll go through everything in detail. Capish?